This neckline looks complicated, but once you understand the pattern, it's actually built from a few simple steps. Today, I'll show you exactly how to draft this gorgeous strapless cupped Bustier Mermaid dress from scratch. And if you're interested in that, definitely watch this video to the end. I have a space for front and back, and this border line will be the shoulder line for both front and back, and this space for the front, and this other part for the back. We'll be starting with the front. Now from this shoulder line, I'll measure down first to my bust point line, then I'll measure down to my under bust line, and then I'll measure down to my waist line. Yeah, we are marking from the shoulder to the bust point line, and then from the shoulder to the under bust line, and then from the shoulder to the waist line. Then I'll use my ruler to rule them out this way, and then these lines, this one is the bust point line, and then this one the under bust line, and this one the waist line. Now, on the shoulder line, I'll be marking the shoulder measurement divided by 2. And then on that point, I'll go down to the chest line. And on the chest line again, I'll be marking the shoulder measurement divided by 2. I'll come to this other end and mark the chest line just so I have a straight line, marking out the shoulder line and the chest line this way. Next thing I'll do is to mark my standard neck width of 3 inches here. Then I'll come down here to about 1.5 to slope the shoulder and connect it to the neck width just like this. Then I'll measure from that shoulder slope down to the chest line, get the midpoint, and on that point I'll be going into 1/2 inch. Then come to the bust point, the chest line, and take the bust measurement divided by 4. Now I'm going to use this 3 points to cover the armhole. And in case you're wondering why we need all of this, I want to show you how you can go about it in case you want to have yoke. The one we are trying to do is strapless, meaning that it doesn't come with a yoke. But in case you want, I'll be showing you how to go about the yoke. Then you get your standard neck depth and mark out your neckline like that. Then the next thing I'll do now is to mark my bust span. That is the nipple to nipple divided by 2. I'll mark it on the bust point line and also on the waistline and use my straight ruler to connect it like this. Now for my under bust tightening, I'll be doing 1.75, which on a normal day, that is my under bust tightening value. So what I'll do is to mark 0.75 going towards the center this way. I'll also extend it to the waistline. Then I'll come to this other side and mark 1 inch and mark the same 1 inch on this waistline. Then I'll connect the two dots, both the one on the center and the one on the side, just like this. We are doing a bustier, it's not a corset, so you're using your exact measurement to use for your bustier for this one. The only thing is that the bustier part is going to be cup, which will still work on that. Now I'll take the waist measurement divided by 4 here on the waistline plus the 1.75 that intake. I'll replace it, then connect the waist measurement and the bust measurement like this. Now after replacing my dart, you see that my waistline still looks shaped because the distance I have from my bust width to the borderline we have that demarcates the front and back, you see that is double of what I have here on the waist, meaning that it's shaped. But in any case, when after replacing your own waist dart intake and it's looking shapeless, then let's say it's like this. If it's even like this, is it works, like it's better like this. But if it is worse than this, after connecting your bust and your waist, I recommend that you come in 1/2 inch from that connection you have, like from your waist circumference divided by 4 plus the dart intake. You come in there 1/2 inch, then you connect it, and that will be the measurement you'll be working with. But since mine is fine, I'll just work with it like that. So I'll take my bust dart of 1.5 and connect it to the bust band this way. Then the next thing I'll be doing now is to go up to my over bust line. Remember, we are making bustier, so you're using your exact measurement for bustier. You are going up to your actual over bust line, not the over bust you use for your corset. You're using the one you use for your bustiers. Then I'll measure from the shoulder tip to the neck width, get the midpoint, and connect it from that point to the bust span I have on the bust point line. Now to tighten the over bust on this line, on both sides of this line, I'm going to be marking 0.75, which is 1.5 over bust tightening at the end of the day. 0.75 here and 0.75 here. Then I'm going to connect the one on the center and curve the one on the side, just as you see me do it here. Then I'm going to measure from here to here, and then whatever it is I have there, I'm going to make sure I have the same thing on this center line. And you see how I tilted my measuring tape. So go ahead and do the same thing. Then you start from your over bust line and go down to 1.5 or 2 inches, and that will be your neck depth. Okay, you start from your over bust line, go down to 1.5, or better still, start from the shoulder and go down to your desired neck depth, and that's what we'll be using. Now I'm using 8 inches, yeah. Then on that 8 inches, I'll be going into half inch to create a border or bust bridge, and I recommend half inch, not 0.75, yeah, or more than that. Then you're going to cover out your neckline this way. We are working with a sweetheart neckline. Then you're going to blend it in from this side to the armhole, just like this. Just basically place your curve like this and blend it into the armhole curve you already have there. The next thing we'll be doing now is to, in case you want to work with yoke, you're going to measure this your over bust tightening from here now to here. The that intake you have there, you're going to divide it into two. Mine would be 0.75, yeah. Then you're going to divide that 0.75 into two again, and that is giving me 0.375. Now you're going to mark it on both sides of this line, and then you're going to shape it in a that form to the midpoint we have on the shoulder slope. Can you see that? Then the remaining 0.75 for me, yeah, I'm going to start here and go out to that same 0.75, just like this. Now I'm going to come to this side and replace the dart intake I have here just along this chest line. Yeah, you're going to measure the dart intake you have there, replace it on this side, like from your bust measurement you already have there, and then you're going to use this 3 points now, or these 2 points, to cover out your new armhole. This is if you want a yoke. Otherwise, you already have our pattern the way you're going to work with it for a strapless bustier. But in case you're working with a yoke, this is how you're going to go about it. Then you're going to blend it in from this side to this new armhole if you're working with a yoke. I'm using a green marker so that you see that this one is not the one we are working with. So you're going to cut it like that. But when cutting the yoke, you're also cutting the previous armhole curve we already have, just this particular one. And in case you want a bustier pattern, let me know in the comments, and we're going to have a tutorial for different types of bustiers: yoke, strapless, off shoulder, all of those. But yeah, this is how you go about it for the yoke. Coming back here, this bust bridge I have here, I'm going to be extending it to the bust point line. The half inch, you're going to mark it out this way, and then you're going to place your curve like this and curve it from that point to your under bust. Then coming here, you're going to start from your side seam and come into 1.5 or 2 inches depending on your size. We will be curving out the side after closing the bust dart, but for now let's work on the back. Now my bust dart intake is 1.5, yeah. I'm going to minus that same 1.5 from the front half length I have, yeah. So I'm basically going up here 1.5 from the front length, and this now will be the back length. Now on the shoulder line, I'll be marking the shoulder measurement divided by 2, and then I'll go down to the chest line, which is going to be the same chest line as the front, yeah. I'll mark my shoulder measurement again on that point and use my ruler to mark it out like this. Then I'll mark my neck width of 3 inches, standard neck width, and come down here to 1.5 and give it a round neckline shape this way. Next, I'll be coming down here to 1 inch and slope the shoulder to the neck width, just like this. I'm going to measure from that shoulder slope down to the chest line, get the midpoint and mark it there. We'll be needing it to cover the armhole later. Now I'm going to take the bust measurement divided by 4 here on the chest line, yeah, and then on the waistline I'll be taking my waist measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch dart intake. Do you understand? I'm going to connect from the bust measurement to the waist measurement like this and curve from the bust width to the midpoint we got earlier here. Now the next thing we'll be doing is to take in the dart, and I'm going to start from the center back and come into my bust span and go up to about 5 inches as the dart length, and on that point again I will be marking the nipple to nipple divided by 2. Now for the dart intake, we'll be doing half inch on both sides, which is the same 1 inch we added to the waist circumference divided by 4 here on the waistline. I'm going to shape it in a dart form on both sides this way, and then the next thing I'll be doing now is to just extend this chest line this way all the way to the center back, and that will be the back neckline. Or if you want, you can decide to go down to how low you want it to be on the back. And then we will also be extending the bust span all the way to this line. And then on both sides now on this line, I'll be doing a dart intake of 0.25 on both sides, which is half inch there. And then here you'll be taking out 1 inch on the center back so that you'll be able to lace it on the back properly. I'm doing just 1 inch and I recommend 1 inch. Yeah, once you're done with that, the next thing we'll be doing now is to start from this line and come into how wide you want your lacing bar to be. If you want to use eyelets, do you understand? But if you want to use loops, just leave it as you already have it here. So this part now is where your eyelet will be going so that you lace your back with it. And I did 1.5 as the width of the lacing bar. Now this dart now is very close to this lacing bar, and we are going to measure what you have from that lacing bar line to the waistline. Whatever it is we have, you're going to divide it into two and extend it upward like this. Then you do your dart intake there. That's if you want to sew the dart. But in case you're not interested in sewing the dart, I even recommend that you close the dart. Just leave your dart as you already have it, and then later you're going to just close it and have one single piece of pattern for the back pattern. But in case you want to sew it, this is how you go about it. The green dart is the one you will be working with. Now, if you also want to have a yoke, you can decide to give it a keyhole shape like this. And then once you have this green line like this, yeah, you're going to go up 1 inch from the back neckline. Go up 1 inch on that green line, then you blend it into the bust measurement. That way you tighten the yoke and it will not gape. That skipped my mind. So yeah, you need to tighten that yoke if you're going with a yoke. Now the next thing we'll be doing now is to do the basque, and it is very minimal, so I recommend you do just 2 inches, and then you're going to just place your curve like this. It's not going to be V, just going to be round on that waistline. Just blend it in this way, and then you're also going to extend it. That is that you're going to extend it to this new line. And once you're done for the skirt too, yeah, you're going to be doing 1 inch. Since I have 2 inches here as the basque length from the waistline, while you're doing it on your skirt, you're going to do just 1 inch. And the reason for that is that if you do this 2 inches, it's going to be really wide than what you have here on this top part, the waistline of this top part, because this is not an inbuilt corset. Yeah, you're going to still join it to the waistline of your skirt. So yeah, just do half of what you use as your basque length. And having said all of that, you are going to be cutting the pattern out, and I need you to watch how I'm going to cut this out. Please do not forget to label every part, just anything that will indicate that this is the top part, this is the side, this is the center, front, especially if you will be sewing your dart. But if you're not sewing the dart and you're closing it on the pattern, it will be easier for you to indicate, like, know that this is the top part and this is the down part, this is the side seam and this is the center front. But if you're sewing the dart, make sure you label as much as you can, just so you don't forget. Go ahead and open up your waist dart, close the bust dart this way, blend the side seam in, and then we are going to cut it out. But we are here to curve out this side cup. So to do that, you're going to place your curve like this. Make sure it's touching that same 1.5 you came in from your side seam, or 2 inches as your case may be. Mine is 1.5. Then I place my curve like this and curve it out. Once that is done, you're also going to label the center front and the side front. You are cutting 2 pieces of the side front, then the center front you're cutting that on fold, and then you label the center cup, the side cup, and you're cutting 2 pieces of each. Do you understand? Then you go ahead and cut out your pattern like you see me do it here, just exactly where I'm cutting and how I'm cutting it. That's how you're going to go about it so that it comes out well. So after cutting out this part, and then if you're working with a yoke, this is how you're going to close this dart. Slash one of the dart lines. You can slash the paper all through, apply your water glue, then you're going to just place it on the other line this way. If you're using a water glue, or basically place it on the other line, and then you tape it down. Then you're going to blend the shoulder slope this way, from the shoulder tip to the neck width. Once you're done with that, you can now go ahead and mark your desired neck width. I'm using about 4 inches by 3 inches. Then I'll go ahead and blend it in on this part, and then you're going to be cutting it out just as we marked it. Remember I said we are cutting it out on the previous armhole curve. That way, after having the yoke ready, it's going to align with your neckline of the bustier. Do you understand? For now, let's talk about the bicep band. it's not going to be fitted, so but you're still going to use your bicep measurement. Let's say it's 8 inches, from one side of your armhole to the back armhole. Yeah, whatever measurement you have there, you're going to be adding about 3 inches or 4 inches, depending on how much you want it to be wide there. But let's say we are working with 8 inches. Yeah, adding 4 inches to it, we're making it 12 inches. Or if you add 3 inches, is going to be 11 inches. Then the wideness, I recommend you do about 2 inches to 3 inches. That depends on how wide you want it. You can even do 1.5. Then for structuring of this bicep band, you're going to be using your sewable bones there. Yeah, use that there. It's even visible from the one we are trying to recreate. And then you're going to use the same thing for the two sides. You need this bicep band for both your right hand side and the left hand side. Then after you're done cutting it, yeah, you can decide to do this part or basically just leave it like that. This is something you're going to fix after making the dress, and after the owner wears it. That's when you're going to place this structured band, and then you can decide to make it longer than this, so that at the end of the day you're going to cut it to your desired length. Now let's talk about the structured piece we have on the neckline. For the length, I recommend that you do about 4 inches, 3 to 4 inches. It shouldn't be too long. Yeah, once you have the length, you're going to go out as the wideness to 0.75. I will be showing you two wideness that you can do. Yeah, depends on what you want. And then you're going to just blend it in from the top to this 0.75 I have here. The top should look like a leaf. Yeah, the tip part of a leaf. That's how it's going to look like. Then we are going to cut it out this way. And after cutting it out, you can see the wideness. And if you're not comfortable with this wideness, yeah, you can make it wider than this. Let me show you how. So after cutting this one now, I'll show you how to go about and shape it further to look like a leaf. So here now, I'll be doing about 1 inch. You can do 1.25 or even 1.5, depending on how wide you want it at this point. Then the length, I recommend, like I said earlier, 3 to 4 inches. Then you're going to just curve it out this way. Just blend it in this way, top to the 1 inch or the wideness you're working with. And after cutting it out, this is what it's looking like. Yeah. Now, after structuring, you're going to use your bobbinet both on the fashion fabric and the lining. That means you're cutting two pieces. Yeah, you structure the fashion fabric and the lining, just these two fabrics. Let's say that this smaller one is the lining. You structure it with your bobbinet, and then you also structure the fashion fabric, and then afterwards you're going to gather it on the hem this way, and you see that it's looking like a leaf. And now this is how you're going to place it. It's going to start from the center front and go all the way around the bicep band, and you're going to place this one like this. Yeah, and then you place the other ones, just cut as many as possible. The other ones on the bicep, from the center front, it goes all the way to the bicep band. Yeah, and then later you're going to use your plique to cover the rough edge. You can not you can This is how you're going to do it. One is going up and then the other one is going down like this, especially on the bustier part. When you get to the bicep band, you can decide to just use the one that goes up, and then later you're going to finish the rough edge with your applique, and then the other bicep band, you're going to use your cup chain to just do the droplets you see there. But yeah, that's pretty much how you go about it. If you have any questions regarding this, kindly drop them in the comments and I will respond to you.